If you don't have enough money to get by, you're working at a job you don't like, you're stressed about your finance constantly, you're not excited about anything in your life, you're just coming home from work, you're exhausted, you have an addiction to buying things on Amazon, and you're just not happy with where your life is right now, it's your fault. And that was a really hard pill for me to swallow. But once I realized that there were billion-dollar companies and like the entire system was really built just to make me miserable and get as much of my money as possible, is actually when I started to break free and enjoy my life a lot more. The average adult is awake for about 16 average a day, and studies have shown that we see about 5,000 ads per day. That's 5 ads every minute, or an ad every 12 seconds. So it's no wonder that we're never content with what we have. We're always spending more than we have, and we're just dissatisfied with our lives. And that really brings us to one of the core issues, motivation. There are really 2 types of motivation, and everybody will have both in their life to some extent. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you go for a run because it makes you feel good. It's something you want to do, and you just enjoy being outside and running and get your blood flowing and all that type of stuff. That's called intrinsic motivation. You do it because you enjoy it. It feels good. You like doing it. It's not hard to make yourself do that. You're just going for the joy in the moment. You don't need some type of external reward. But now imagine that you're running, but it's not because you like it. Maybe you're doing it because all your friends are into fitness and you're trying to fit in, or maybe you have an upcoming reunion and you're trying to get in shape before that comes up, or maybe it's even because you want to impress somebody. Well, that's called extrinsic motivation. You're not running because it will make you happy while you're running, but because you're hoping that there will be some positive outcome of this thing that you're doing in the future. But here's the interesting part. The more your life is driven by external motivations, the less you actually rely on internal ones that actually make you feel, more fulfilled. According to some research by Professor Kesher, an American psychologist who's actually known for his work on materialism and well-being, the more you chase external rewards, the more likely you are to have anxiety, to be stressed, and it can even lead to depression. Like, if you think about it, how often do you see yourself just scrolling through Instagram and just kind of like envying what people have on there and feeling like your life doesn't measure up? Well, it's because you're becoming more focused on hollow, like external values, and you're really less focused on things that fulfill you and make you feel good, things that actually make you happy. Obsession. I've definitely gone through this stage multiple times. The first one was when I started to earn a little bit of money. I was in my late teens, early 20s, and I started to buy stuff. The first thing I bought was a Mustang, a yellow Mustang with a racing stripe in. I thought that would like boost my status, and I was really actually interested in that. Once I got that car, it made me realize how little that added to my life. It was this dream car that I'd always wanted as, a kid, and it didn't really change anything. And I ended up selling it about a year later, and it didn't really, I didn't miss anything after it. And I went through the cycle of buying clothes and just really worrying about my appearance and getting caught in this cycle of almost being addicted to shopping, being addicted to buying things for my first apartment, even whether it was, buying things online or buying things at a thrift store. It was this addiction to getting more, trying to get my house and how I'm dressed and everything to look the best that it possibly can and get more and more, better and better stuff, upgrade and upgrade. And in the end, none of this stuff matters. None of it matters. 10 years from now, 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, all of this stuff will not even exist. It'll like turn into dust. Whether you had a $300 pair of sneakers or a $30 pair of sneakers, it doesn't matter. Whether you had the nicest house, a smaller house, it won't change anything. It won't make you happier. There's like a certain level where if you get out of, poverty into, some type of middle range, then you'll be a little bit happier because you don't have those problems that money can kind of cure. But you have to get off that hamster wheel at some point of chasing more and more and more. And a lot of that is unplugging and like resetting your life. I'm actually doing a reset right now where I'm going through and, donating all the stuff that I had bought and like an Amazon addiction and buying things on social media and going through and purging all that stuff. You realize how little that thing that you're like, oh, that's really cool, I definitely need that thing. And about a week later, you don't need it. You forgot what it was. You don't know why you have it. And you literally traded your life. You're going to a job that you don't like in order to have that thing that doesn't matter at all. Actually, if you're looking to do a little bit of a life reset, I have a link down below of a kind of a life reset that I've done, and I wanted to kind of share that so other people can kind of reset their lives if they want to. It's a really cool challenge. I actually put a lot of work into it. If you want to check it out, link down below. Totally free. But I think so many times we focus on spending money on stuff instead of on buying back our freedom, buying back our lives, improving our lives, making us happier. And I think it's because we think stuff will make us happier. We think that our lives are stressful, and when you just pull out out your phone and you just start scrolling, you get to tune out of whatever's going on in your life. And it's this idea of addiction where you're never going to solve whatever your addiction is until you deal with the underlying root. And instead of, maybe you have, some type of emptiness inside of you, or you're depressed, you have whatever, and you're going to buy stuff, you're going to social media or whatever in order to cure that, instead of actually dealing with the problem. And the only way to deal with the problem is to be in the real world. You have to face it. So how do we escape materialism? First of all, I think it's important to look at perspective. If you're watching this video, you're probably like in the top 1% or the top like 10% of people in the world. You have it so much better than so many people. And I know that I have gone through this myself, where I feel like I need to get to the next level. I need to get more. I need to do more. I need to, get a newer car or a bigger house or whatever. And I've even done some of that. Like I have a really nice house right now. Yes, we're house hacking it, so we're getting it close to free. We're able to live here. But even still, it's like a thing to look through listings of more expensive houses, more expensive vacations, more expensive cars. Like no matter what level you get to, there's always another level that you can push for. And instead of looking at all the good that we can do in the world, all the people that we could help with this wasteful money that we're spending on crap, on having a bigger box to live in or a shinier box to drive to work in, instead of looking at like kind of the bigger picture and the people around us, we look at whatever the next kind of shiny object is. And even if you look at this from a selfish perspective, this was a really big change for me. Instead of having more things, what I really wanted was to have freedom to spend time with my kids. I now have 2 kids, and I've been able to build a decent amount of freedom to spend a lot of time with them, even to the point where it's a little too much time. And I realized that like I can only do so many hours with 2 kids under 2 before my body starts to freak out. But I've been able to shift buying stuff to instead investing and kind of like buying my freedom. And that has allowed me to spend my time doing whatever I want to do. It's given me time and energy to get in shape, to spend time with family and loved ones, to be generous to people, to help people, to donate my time if I want to. Those are all things that you can do when you make that shift from buying more stuff to riding that like hamster wheel of just like more of like make more money, get a nicer house, make more money, get a nicer car, make more money, get nicer clothes. If you can break out of that cycle of spending more and more and more money, the more money that you get, and shift that over into building a life that you don't want an escape from, that's where you can actually start to make an impact on people's lives. If you don't have money because you're spending it on all this stuff that we're being conditioned to buy, when you stop doing that and you're able to start building wealth, to start making investments, you're actually able to make an impact in the world. You can start a nonprofit, you can donate to charities. Selfishly, you could build up generational wealth that will help your kids and grandkids, or you can have more crap. It just feels like it gets so out of hand. Like when me and my wife took our first trip out of the country, we went to, where did we go to? We went to Belize, and we spent a week or 2 there. It was our first like kind of honeymoon trip as a couple. When we came back, I was like disgusted with how materialistic, America was. We came in and like the entire airport is like a mall, and everything is just constantly slamming you with ads and to buy this, buy that, and the happy smiling people. That I think for a lot of us, we're realizing that's not the answer. So if you're, kind of in that cycle again, maybe try that reset. I've just went through it recently and it's really helped me. So there's a link down below. It's really, I think it can make a positive impact on your life. So hope you enjoyed this video, and if anything, just like take a week off spending, see how you feel. You won't regret it.